legion of players here. Peekaboo, I've been here the whole time.
Well, 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 Minnesota. It is good to be back. God, you all look fantastic, and if I get any closer, I'm sure I can smell you too, and you know what? You look like you smell good as well. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the Major 2 off right. We have got a lovely game to get things going here in this room already. Oh boy, we're going to get real loud all weekend long. Are we ready, team? Ready to get this going? All right, without further ado, let's just get this show on the road. The first team, they are the gatekeepers to the S tier here in the league. Put your hands together for the London Royal Ravens. Afro, Gizmo, Nasty, and Zero.
And with an event here where the London Royal Ravens want to prove that they're not just top 3, they're the best out there, this is where they show it.
This is where they start their run, right? This is their first matchup up against Florida. You know what? They look comfortable on that stage, Felly.
And you know what, Miles? I think the underdogs from Florida got something to say.
They're a team you can never, ever truly count out because the Florida Mutineers, they've come here with something to prove, and it is going to be a special showing indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the stage to London's opponents, the Florida Mutineers. Awakening, Dave, Patty, Skies, and Vivid.
And the thought of seeing a player like Skies even all in, I'm loving this team, and I hope that they prove that they're so good at this event.
Yeah, the core of Skies and Awakening a couple years ago were winning championships, lighting it up, and since then it's just been inconsistency across the board. They're trying to turn that tide, and it would start with a big win in round 1 versus a top 3 team.
Hey, yo, Miles, enough talking, man. I'm ready to get this show started.
Cut glass with these nipples right now, Belly. Let's do this. Are we ready? You sound pretty ready to me. Let's get this show on the road. Merc, Maven, take it away.
Thank you, Miles. Yes, very excited to get things rolling. The crowd already getting ramped up, and we are ready for what could be a great one. And I'm excited because we love when new players come into the league, and you see Gizmo coming this year, and the talent he has been so amazing. But I think it's fair to say, at the last major, it was probably tough for him to be completely focused. You know, he tweeted after the loss of FaZe, I believe he said he was throwing up blood. He had a family member diagnosed with cancer. His little brother was having medical issues. Like, he was going through a lot. Now, I'm hoping life has improved. He's been able to focus this major. I know he missed a week during the regular qualifier matches, but if he's dialed in, who knows? Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this team, they've showed a lot of adversity, right? Getting through that adversity. Gizmo's one of those guys that we want to see a better performance here. But really at Major 1, it was about, I mean, Nasty stepped up. Afro was making plays. They got to top 3, right? Yeah. This is now a team now. They're playing consistent. They are good in every single game mode. But this first hard point that we're going to, for the Florida Mutineers, it is going to be a difficult one. You can see here, they have never broken a hill on this map. That's not good.
No,
that's actually last.
When I was talking to you about it, we were just kind of talking through some of the stats we're being sent, and you're like, yeah, they kind of have a hard point they're good at.
Their map pool is weak.
They're good at. The map pool is very, very weak. But to be fair, you know, of tough schedules, they had one of the tougher ones when you look at the qualifier for this.
Yeah, I mean, they win their first 2 matches against the York Guerrillas, and then 3 in a row. It's Boston, Texas, FaZe, like 3 of the top 4 teams right now. And they lose all of them. So, you know, they were able to get to the winner's bracket, but it's not an easy battle whatsoever.
Well, I guess the question I kind of have to you about the Mutineers team then, you know, you saw the desk was talking about the stats for Vivid, right? Like when he goes positive versus when he goes negative, but it just sort of feels like this is a game in which you need to play very fast. And outside of Vivid, this isn't really a team built for speed.
It reminds me a lot of when Vivid was first picked up on Empire last year. His stats were just horrendous, right? But they were trying to build the system, get him in, get him comfortable, and then boom, we saw it, right? He was going to the majors, they were getting to finals. You know, they were a top 4 team by the end of last year. A lot of that due to him. And I think the same thing is here. I think there's too much pressure on him to have to be the first one to go, to have to be the first one to try to start these breaks. You know, when you're watching a team like London, it's Afro, it's Nasty, everyone can make those plays happen. Who's it going to be on the Florida side?
Yeah, it might be as simple as a pacing thing that hopefully it can fix with this current roster, but let's get into it. Time for Gavutu to start things off in this best of 5 between Royal Ravens and Mutineers. Minnesota, we're happy to be here. This venue, by the way, it's awesome.
Old school.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, even this room just reminds me of old school, like MLG event, UMG event, anything. I mean, that's just, you know, we're in this ballroom.
Kind of brings you back.
Yeah, brings you back big time. I'm loving it, though.
Wanda gets those POV, hit down to 4 HP, and it's Awakening that's able to snap. Nasty tries to get it roll. It's actually Afro. That's now going to be 3 in a row for him. He's able to take out Vivid, and they start to rack up the time. And he is just hitting right now. Hitting on Disguise's forehead is in range. The MP40 locking it down.
Oh my gosh!
Give him 6. The man is eating early in this hard point.
I just went away from that glide. Not going to get the glide bomb. Gizmo's going to get that trade, though, but they're already set up here for P2. I mean, they just have them locked in with the pressure that you saw. You can see Nasty trying to work the top side of the map. Dave's going to pick that on up, but a good amount of time there for London Royal Ravens. Still, Florida going to have to try to break on through. Vivid going to get cut down. We talked about their break potential so far, and it's still pretty bad.
Well, let's see what Awakening is able to find as he's going to catch the stun, but at least he'll be able to call it in top. And Gizmo able to find 2 before he's going to drop. The push, I thought, comes in, but the reload gets off just in time, and where you saw Afro go on the 6-3, now Awakening's turn to turn up. What a beast he has been for this squad. 6-3, 4 in a row, trying to build.
Again, he gets 2 kills. He gets a multi-kill to hopefully open things up, but that just changed it. I mean, you good? You're moving me around?
Well, I was trying to see. I thought this TV was clearer than the other one, Joe, so I was trying to look the other side, but it's the same thing, so never mind.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, even then, right? Awakening, he gets a multi-kill. Can they break, though? That doesn't happen. 71 points in a row for the London Royal Ravens, but over towards P3, you have the early setup for the Mutineers. After, though, it looks like, okay, maybe I thought he was going to try to sneak through towards that lower side ship, but he's going to try to get that kill on Awakening. Awakening locking down the middle of the map.
And Sky's just playing up close and sneaky, able to do it 3 in a row. They're on the kill feed for Mutineers, and now Skies will try to get the angle from Ring. As they look to push out, just 35 seconds remaining on this hard point. What a good bit of time it has been. They're finally able to clear him out, but that's an effective and clean trade from Vivid. Not going to be able to take on the next fight, but so far, they've locked down this point, they brought it back, but these next couple of rotations are where things get interesting.
Yeah, now if you're London, you're going to just try to keep them locked back here towards the B side. Maybe you can contest some of this time. Zero just trying to find these players on the head. He's got 3 players in position. Vivid going to win that gunfight as well. And you can see Florida going to push up beach side. They don't have anyone towards ship. Gizmo has that lockdown. So this early rotation, it's going to be great for London. Just look how far back the Florida Mutineers are. Now, a perfect kill comes in. They have the lead.
So you kind of need it after you give up a full 60.
Yeah, they got to respond with one here.
You're going to lose a lot of time. You've got to answer back. Is Nasty doing his best to lock down one side of the map. He'll now rotate over, is trying to get eyes on and able to do just that. But say he wins another, how ludicrous that would have been. But the damage has been done and the numbers have been thinned for Mutineers. But they're here with the close spawn. They're trying to get an opening as Skies is cooking an 8. Everyone is dropping in front of them. They cannot find any opening. Ravens doing exactly what they needed to do. They're answering back with a magnificent hold here at Tower. Let's get to a listen-in with Royal Ravens.
Nothing cliff. Well, front, Sky's beat, Sky's beat front. Guys, one cliff. Nice, let's go cliff, get time.
Oh, absolutely.
Go out, then go out. Where'd you go?
We're still cliff, we're still cliff. Push back. Nice. Right, listen, get boat and then do what?
Awaken one shot. I'm doing one, guys. I'm still gonna be free, guys. Free tank, just go, leave him. No time.
Yeah. 3 metal steps.
Right, play this hill aggressive, bro. He's outside metal steps. Listen, Sky's still on the left, guys. He said he made cut.
I'm cage right now.
Red tank, one shot, Skies. Skies, red tank, so down, you jumping out cage.
Absolutely top, okay? One to the cage as well, cage.
Red steps, guys.
No time. Yeah. Go.
We hear the listening there with Royal Ravens. Both teams really just trading blows for now, but you heard what the comms are like as they brought it back. We want to hear it on the other side. Let's go right to a listen-in with Mutineers.
You might go through.
Gizmo's dead.
Cage, you have a nuke, you're free nuke.
I'm gonna push out low.
Not barrel of nuke.
They can go stairs, right? You want to curve on me? Curve on me now. Take live low. I'm one shot, guys. I got killed by Sun. They're curve.
I'm staying inside the ring.
They're curve. Hey, Kurt, push up. He's Kurt, push up. Hey, he's Kurt. Outer fence, good. Yeah, they're ring stairs, nasty, now weak. Good job, one more time.
No, Afro weak.
Are you by yourself, Tracy, by yourself?
No, he's in the ring. He's just gonna finish in the ring.
I'm going on now.
Yeah.
Nothing blind.
Middle thing, trying to go mid.
Push you on this side ring. Yo, outer fence dead,
Watch out. He's going front green.
In the corner, inside ring.
Yeah, ring. No, he's dead.
Oh, Zero there doing his best. Will Smith just laying it out. Hands to the face. He's going to drop them. They're up 40 right now. Royal Ravens looking to get it done.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you had some late pressure over towards the last hill at P5. I think Afro was putting it on, and then it's on Afro to break your P1, and he's on 5 in a row, up to double positive. That's a difference maker here. You had the early rotation for Florida over to P1 at this ring, but what has London been so good at all year long? Relying on those breaks, they do it again, and they're going to have to do it here. We're going to rotate over towards P2. And, well, he's just going to try to take this long route. He could flip the spawns. Vivid is playing for it. You've seen Vivid with that auto running that third AR majority of the time. So, just finding it when he can. Maybe slow it down a little bit, find those positions. But, yeah, just kind of been back and forth. The big thing to me has just been that P1 break.
Just over 30 left to go here. It's going to be nasty from the top rope. Just trying to find where the contest is in, but I believe Afro able to pick up that kill. Afro just, off the 6th string, right back into the mix. As he keeps having a sensational map. At 20 and 10 right now, double positive. Not only that, Joe, he's got 2 minutes and 17 seconds in the hardpoint.
He's been hanging out, dude. That's a long time. But that's really what it's been. I mean, when a team has had a hill, there hasn't been too many breaks. I mean, a great P1 by London, but P2, they're right back into it. Dave now on a 5 spree. It's only a 14-point game. Look at the rotation over to P3. Skies is already set up. You do have ring control, though. If you are London, that will allow them to put the pressure on, get those nades, try to get Skies out of this spot.
Well, he's down to 43 HP. That's a great nade through. That's going to be nasty. It's able to hit it and get him out of the point, but they get the close deep spawn. They're able to reinforce here quickly, but Nasty gets that position. You kind of nailed it. Once you have ringside, you're able to continue this pressure, but can they actually get him out? And yeah, I mean, the holds have been great for both sides, but Mutineers not exactly known for their ability to break, as you saw the 0% that was on it, but that is what London is known for, and they might need one here, because now the lead to Mutineers, they're going up 10+, doing an incredible job is Vivid. What a play there. That helps alleviate that pressure. No more push from ringside. They've got to rotate anyway. Can you find more success? And this time, you've got maybe a little bit more aggression than you did last time on the hinge of the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, look at this pinch setup. Awakening is able to get out ship side. The spawns come in. This is an opportunity. You have a 3v2 towards tower. They have to go. You're going to have a pinch come in from Nasty, though. He's there now for the reinforcements. The kills coming in.
Okay.
Trading back and forth, but Mutineers on the rotation, able to win it. And now a chance to win and steal this map one away.
This could be absolutely incredible. They clean up any kind of mistakes from the rotation. Last time through, and Vivid, I think, gets the kill before he drops. It's actually the flash will take him down, so they're going to be in.
Look at
and now,
just
so 30 points away. What a rotation it is from Mutineers. A thing of beauty, and where their hard point woes have been, maybe they cleaned some of it up. Getting locked and loaded for Minnesota is now Dave Batty's got the cross on one side. It's Vivid on the other, and they are inching closer to victory in this map 1.
And it's just been tough for London. I feel like at times, I mean, Florida's been running 4 ARs. You can see what it's done when they've had to break those setups. Florida's just been so good. They've been locking it down. 5 seconds now. Zero's got to go. Him and Gizmo, not the best map ones you want to see from them, but still a chance. Can they get it to the next hill? It's going to be on Afro to try to get in. Him and Gizmo trying to do what they can, but I don't think it's enough. The tick going to come in, and Florida Mutineers steal the Gabutu away.
And see, that's like, when we talk about this team and, how maybe they might struggle to play with pace, it feels like when they can pull out 3 or 4 ARs in a map, like, shouldn't they be good?
Yeah, that's what's been so odd, right?
Yeah, right?
Like, we get to run 3 ARs with these players on our team, like, great. Like, this
that's what you would think, but it hasn't, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been. It's been sort of like, we have to play Bojaj because that just kind of makes us play a little bit faster. We can play with Vivid. But you saw it there. It was a map where they were running 3 to 4. You had a couple MP40s depending on the hill. But the slang, I mean, was there from everyone.
So, I think the big thing, they are basically flawless at 3rd, right? I don't think you really give up a 2nd to Royal Ravens.
No.
But the rotation to 4th, the 2nd time through, it's just, it's everything. And
I think that rotation to 4th, I think that 2nd hill hold in the second rotation. It was like 170 to 120.
Yeah.
They needed a response because if London break that, they're over the 200-point mark. Then the pressure is really on, I think. That was just such a good job at that ship. But yeah, when they needed a hold, they did. I mean, that wall was strong for Florida.
And I just think, like, if you're going to play that way, if you're going to have a lot of ARs, and it's not a team like Royal Ravens, and we know how much success they've had in the break. There's been very little from Mutineers. When you have the early rotations, you have the setups, you have to. Like, you have to hold, or you're not going to win hard points. You're just not.
And I think, like, for London, I mean, they just couldn't find the kills at the right times. I think especially at that P3, just 2 times in a row. When you're able to get ring control, you're hoping to at least contest, right? Just get to that ship, maybe just try to waste time. In worst case scenario, even if you lose majority, let's say 40 seconds, you should have the early rotation to P4, which we saw the first time through, not the second time through. Awakening and Vivid, they kind of pinched from ship side and the beach. I mean, they were able to get the spawns to flip out for London. It was just, yeah, it was beautiful to watch.
I saw, Tuger's my guy. He basically was a hero of mine growing up on the Halo side of things. I love him. He's a legend, but I saw he was getting into a little bit with, I think, aBeZy and some of the guys in their podcasts and just how they kind of ranked Mutineers and him just thinking, like, this is a much better team than I think you guys realize. He was just trying to stir the pot a little bit, but yeah, I guess we tend to agree. Are they where they should be right now? Maybe, yes. But you feel like the talent is there, especially when you can get more ARs on the map, that they should find success.
100%.
They should. And maybe, usually when there is someone that is maybe, let's say it's Vivid at times, that was playing too fast, and maybe that's why he's struggling a little bit. Maybe sometimes instead of my typical thinking with Call of Duty is the rest of the team needs to speed it up, right? Like, you usually want to play as fast as you can. Maybe now while you're figuring stuff out, it's just, maybe it is him pulling the brakes a little bit. Like,
yeah, pulling out an auto. And maybe on a map like Yavutu for sure, but I think there's definitely some maps,
you can't do that.
Berlin, where you're gonna need to set up those pinches with the MP40s. But hey, it worked on that map. And when we saw the stats, they were basically last on that map in every category. But
they got the win, so who cares? Let's talk Search and Destroy now as we get ready for this. We're gonna talk about Nasty and Skies as they have been 2 highlight machines for their squads.
Yeah, you can see it there. Both are on 1.13 for Skies, 1.11 for Nasty. 6 kills average per 9 rounds, and you can see what that turns into. 25%. It's 4 of them. It's around the what you would assume, but a little bit higher in this case for both of these guys.
Yeah, I think just the death's a little bit lower, maybe with the KD you've got for these guys. But I mean, Skies, I think since I brought it up many times in my career. When I first met him, he was a 15-year-old kid that was carrying me in Search and Destroy. I thought he had what it take to eventually be a pro, and a couple of years later, what do you know? He's in the mix. He's always had a good brain for Search. I felt maybe took a while on the team side of things, more individual for a bit there, but he's been a great Search player.
You've really always had an eye out for who can carry me next, right? Like
yes,
you're playing games.
Yeah, it's usually what it boils down to. I haven't played as much ranked in this game, but if I was, yes, I would find some 15, 16-year-old just insane player that would carry me. Yeah, he'd be the next one.
You wouldn't play with me? That's messed up.
No, I need a good 10 to 15 years younger because they're raw gun skill.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm really taking digs at you. Okay. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, it's fine. I was just.
It more is about how much I need to carry me than it is to do with you.
Okay. I mean, they could be on the team with us.
Well, the real problem is just your elo is so much higher than mine. That's the major issue.
Sorry.
There.
I don't know what to tell you.
But I'm back on controller and just know I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. The whole world
Next
knows.
week, I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
I've only said it a couple times. Yeah. But we get ready for the Search and Destroy between these two teams. But now how, I guess, for you, does this flip on its head a little bit now with that map 1 win from Mutineers? It's got it, right?
Yeah, I think you saw the deaths, right? Kind of the map that they circled was this map, too. I mean, the map set coming into this was pretty awful for Florida, right?
If you looked at it based on stats, yes. It was horrible,
map record-wise, it was kind of the only thing that was decent for them was this map number 2 on Tuscan Search and Destroy. So it's kind of a map now where stronger for Florida. They have that advantage here, and now can they go up 2-0, put the pressure on London to have to reverse sweep them?
Yeah, it'd be incredible. I think we're getting a shot of the main stage, just working through, I think, an audio issue for one of the teams, and then we'll get going as soon as we can. Thank you for the patience in the venue and at home. We want to rock into the match as quickly as we can.
We just need to talk. I mean, we're pretty good at this. You guys get to deal with us. That wasn't talking. I don't know.
Was that a horse?
I don't know.
They have horses in Minnesota?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Why wouldn't they?
I'm not a horse expert. I don't know.
I mean, me neither, but I would assume there's a couple of horses in Minnesota.
Oh, I am an idiot. Yeah. But for the Search, when you take a look at it, we're going to something like Tuscan. there's been some changes, right? When you just think about the defensive spawn.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive spawn kind of moved up a little bit. I think maybe to allow them to push up towards Ruin side, right? You don't have those fast planes coming in a little bit more. I mean, even before the changes, it was pretty 50-50. I still think it was like a 51% advantage for the defense, but now that changes, right? So we're going to see how the offensive teams want to switch things up, maybe slow it down. The big thing when we talk about Search, we saw it last major, been seen in the qualifiers, it's all really about hitting those nades, kind of evening up the numbers.
Yeah, a couple of the matches we casted last major.
London was one of them, right?
Literally felt like, well, it was the Thieves match. Was it? Who was it? Thieves, and it was on Tuscan, but I think it was Control. No, it was the Surge, but it was just. I think nades accounted for.
Thieves FaZe, right?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Nades accounted for like 80% of the kills. It was pretty unbelievable. Yeah. Trophies didn't exist.
They don't exist.
They don't exist, unfortunately.
Don't know what to tell you. We're not historians, so I don't know.
Don't know about horses or trophies. But we've been told we're just about ready to go and get into the search and destroy here between these two squads. And if you're a Mutineers fan, though, you got to be feeling pretty good. You know, we talked a bit about their strength of schedule and how it's been a difficult one, sort of beating the teams maybe they should, and losing the teams that would be a little bit tougher. But they're I guess there's a lot of teams right now. It's tough when you talk about Dark Horse for an event, especially with how the middle of the pack is right now. But if I had to pick a couple, I mean, they'd definitely be one of my maybe top Dark Horses, just surprise people, just based on the talent they have. If they get hot on a weekend.
Yeah, I think obviously the struggle's been against top teams. Someone else who's kind of had that is Boston, so I'd probably put them like in Boston in sort of the same area. I think Boston's obviously been better than Florida, what they've shown, but it's kind of the same talk against the top three teams. That's where Boston has struggled. Can they kind of get over that hump here? For Florida, yeah, I mean, it's just the same. I feel like the last 2 years we've had the same conversation. They've beaten some of the lower teams. They have the talent. Can they do it against the top teams? Well, London is one of those teams.
Well, we get ready to go, and I think it's good kind of how that first major went. I think for a lot of the youth and on the other side for the Royal Ravens, so I was talking to Zero and stuff, like they got tested quite a lot, like a lot of game fives, and maybe that helps you in a position like this where you go down 0-1 on map maybe you expected to win. You've kind of seen more, you've learned a bit, you've tested yourselves.
And you can see there, all right, we just saw the last for the Mutineers on Yavutu. It's a lot of last for the London Royal Ravens. They've only played it one time. Awakening a big game, number one, 24-18, but I think everyone was just on point for that squad. Everyone positive. I think for Vivid, he was only -2.
And you said this was really the one map. This was the one from Mutineers that really looked good, right, statistically? All right, so listen, just you're hanging out with us a little bit longer. Unfortunately, a lobby crash. We're going to get the game restarted as quickly as we can so we can start this map too, but back to us we go. But that's why I think the map 1 upset's so important, considering the map 2 is really your bread and butter or one of your better search and destroys. Can you get that 2-0 edge? Can you put the pressure on? Can you start to feel really confident if you're Mutineers? And then anything can happen. I know the control, it looks scary based on they've had like kind of one good control map, but I didn't expect them to win the map 1 either. So
yeah, I mean, you have to kind of understand that when you're coming into a major, knowing that you don't have a very high seed, you're going to pretty much talk about what maps are we going to play, and still with only 2 controls. Yeah, there's a big circle on Yavutu, right, going up against Florida. And I think the preparation for them has to be centered around that. I mean, that's just what it is. You know, or with the veto process, probably what you're going to be playing most of the time. So you would assume a lot of the preparation, kind of what they're focusing on, is that. So maybe they've made some changes when we get to that control and things look better like it did in map 1.
It's tough because you basically, like, you know, we had the major end. You went... There was no break or anything. You went bang, bang, bang into matches, and you've maybe had a couple of days of scrims to improve something, but not really. Like, you finish up with the qualifying matches, you're basically traveling here right after. Like, how much of a chance do you really have to improve some of your weak points?
Well, I think for a lot of teams, the last couple of days of practice here is probably the most important. I mean, being able to play on LAN, and again, because you kind of are realizing it's one round at a time. If you're in the winners, until Sunday, it's one match a day, right? So... Well, you understand that, so you're practicing that map set over and over and over again.
And how often does this maybe arise? Like we knew last year with FaZe, just talking to Crowder, the coach, you know, we're close to them, obviously we game with them a lot. Like there was a map, there was a hard point where they were horrible if you looked at the overall records in the league, but we knew that they were like 102 when you talk about scrims. So like, it wasn't necessarily a bad map. It just looked like a bad one in the stats on paper. But that could exist for any team. Like
100%.
They're not performing maybe in the qualifier, but they actually are like a solid team on it when it clicks.
And it's a very long year. I mean, this is going to be a roller coaster. There's going to be lots of ups and downs.
Yeah, true. Into the search. Time for the game 2 as Royal Ravens will look to answer back, but from the window. It's Dave Patty. It's able to hit the shots. He loves Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. That means I love him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does he love Harry Potter?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Is that just a... Oh, that's a snipe. All right, we're doing 2v2. Never mind. Hit it.
Oh, Zero, it's good to have you back. Handsome and talented. We'll see as he looks for the angle. It's actually Nasty. It's able to get the kill. Now going to be Skies. I think just about maybe to put it into a 1v1, but the help is there. It's the pistol from Zero, and it's a round 1 win for Royal Ravens.
And these are the kinds of rounds where I think if you look at the Major 2 and what propelled our top teams and, you know, and an OpTic for winning that event, it's these kinds of rounds, these 2v3s, these, you know, sort of small skirmishes where you're going to either have to retake or hold on to that bomb site. There's an opportunity there for Florida. They had the main advantage.
You mean where like Thieves excel?
Not right now. Not at the moment.
I was kidding, that one.
Yeah, no, it's
one
not.
Search. Whew. Sorry, Nate shot. Whoa! Little jump in and hits. 3-0 start from Zero. It is a beautiful shot and puts Mutineers at disadvantage here early. Can he find more? Here they come. Just a little bit of flinch, not able to take off the head.
And you see, this is just an info game right now. You have Gizmo and Afro heading towards this B site. And Skies is just playing kind of what he can. Now, Vivid's going to try to get aggressive. But Skies, I don't know if he's going to see any of those 3 players that cross. Zero's going to be the final one, but the whole team's already through. Now it's on Awakening. He's going to work towards TJHaly. Bomb not planted yet, still 30 seconds to work with. You can see all the sort of micro movements going on the map right now. Gizmo in a great position. Bomb being planted by Nasty. He's able to get it down. Now another one of these positions with these retakes. Zero, though, with the pistol.
Well, there's the pistol or the snipe. It is hit, and that'll put him out to 4-0. And you just don't have any utility. You don't have any. The tacticals or lethals left maybe to help with a retake. They're just getting absolutely picked apart. And yeah, maybe a fortunate timing on the cross, but the fact is they get through. Let's take a look at the snipe one more time. Little hop. Gets the info with the first. Shot to the chest on the second. Wondrous start from Zero.
And I love what I saw from London. With that first blood, they slowed it down. They knew that, you know, someone on the defense is probably going to get aggressive, so they took their time, worked with their numbers, got towards that B site. Very disciplined after that first blood.
So far, everything's going exactly as it looked like it would statistically, correct?
Yeah, last wins.
Nasty's gonna hit it right up the gut. Oh, I'm just thankfully he got one.
My man was at the buffet, he just didn't know what to pick.
Yeah, 100%. As it now goes to a 2 versus 2. Vivid is Skies versus Gizmo and Zero. The chalice out and the pistol. It is still a poppin'. 5-0 start. Now from Zero is all the pressure falls to Skies. He's got the snipe on the other end, but Zero just got that information.
Oh, the nade and the stun.
The nade is through, the push is in. Royal Ravens continue to cruise.
This has just been beautiful by Zero with the snipes that he's finding, realizing when do I have to use this pistol, playing the power positions. But even then, right, in the 1v2, I mean, there's a chance where he gets pushed. The call from Florida is, all right, he's there with a sniper and a pistol. If Skies doesn't have his sniper there, he's probably getting pushed right away for the trade to make it a 1v1. But he buys the time, he's playing his position, doing the bit of an up-down.
Hits his nade,
yep.
Exactly. The push comes in. It's not the easiest thing to deal with, but fact is they do it clean. Don't give up any kind of throw. So it's 5 in a row for Zero, 3 in a row for Gizmo. Now can Florida just get around, like something to get feeling good about? You finally get a first blood. This time it'll be behind Vivid. You just haven't had advantage much.
Well, Afro's able to bring it back, but he's getting aggressive as well. What else could he find? He's gonna make this a 2v2, but he's all by himself. He gives Zero a chance. 5-0. Can he work it up to 7-0? Has a, 45 seconds to work with. You can see the way Dave and Sky's just playing together.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the game here. If Zero's able to clutch this. Whereas on the other end, you get around if you're Mutineers, maybe you start crawling back, but you cannot allow him to win this 1v2 in the form he's been in.
You see the
He's
weapon.
got a shot. All right, he gets info on both.
Sneaky, sneaky.
There it is. There's the pick. 1 versus 1. Nice trigger discipline from Zero. Now, can he win the 1v1 to start out 7-0? Hey, he gets some shots in the skies. He rips him to almost half HP. Starts to become a bit of a guessing game now.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of defuses this year, right? But Zero, he's just playing the 50-50 right now. Just trying to do what he can, and he holds it! So patient, still has not died
And
in this map. I gotta see this from his point of view, because I don't know if he snapped. Oh, he sure did. He sees him around the corner, the snap hits. I mean, he's a bit out of position. He's going to check that bomb, but
I thought he got
shots.
caught. Yeah, I thought he got caught, but the snap, as you said, absolutely there, and that's a painful one. You go down 0-4 for your Mutineers. You lose the 1v2. You got streaks, you got confidence, you got everything. If you are Zero in this Royal Ravens team, what a clutch and what a search and destroy he is having.
And that's just one of those rounds when you have numbers, you give up a free pick, right? There's no trade after Dave gets picked. Shies is not in a position to chow that. He doesn't even get a bullet in.
And that's, I mean, that's as much on Zero, just his position, the fact that the trigger discipline sees them both cross. Like, he sets himself up for it. Like, I don't even know how you're in a position to trade that, honestly, just based on how they played it.
Well, first blood comes in, and Afro already pushed up towards this A site. You just see the difference, right? Just with those spawns, it used to just be so much over towards A from the offensive teams where they really have to fight over mid-map control. Take things one at a time. A lot of the focus over there towards Fountain, where Awakening is right now. Just trying to make plays through the middle of the map over towards Church. I think he's got in.
Yeah, he's got in, and he could play spoiler. 3 versus 3 now as Vivid and Skies have both found kills. They've taken the advantage, and maybe this will be that first round. But unfortunately for them, Zero is still alive. Now, this time it's a 1v3 with 25 to go, but he's on defense.
I think they saw him. I'm pretty sure Vivid saw him over there, top radio. He just immediately sprints towards A. Mate, Zero's just got a 6th sense right now. Hop in.
Just stick it.
Stick it. That's what I do. Why not? Stick it.
Ah, snap! It's another, but the flank is in. No clutch this time from Zero. Mutineers finally able to close it out, and yeah, it was needed. Now you start to claw your way back into it round by round. And this time, though, as you talked about the need for trades, I mean, that is instant. You don't give him a chance. I mean, he has seconds to get out of that and reposition. Who the hell knows what he's able to pull off, but they don't give him a shot.
I hope he's not winning that one. That'd be bad.
Well, yeah, yes, you're right. That would be bad.
I would just have Pat saying, blow it up, blow it up.
Oh, to be fair, there have been some moments this year.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Kind of comes to a standstill here for a moment. And is this what you thought maybe with the defensive spot moving up a little bit, kind of slow the offense down a bit at times?
Yeah, for London, I mean, this has kind of just been where Gizmo and Afro have been going on offense, right? Just playing around this fountain area, kind of opens up the middle of the cut, and you know, you can see what Zero is kind of working angles with the sniper. They pushed up towards A. It's more of an info game instead of, hey, we know that we have the advantage towards A, right? Yeah. The offensive team has a lot more to clear. They're going to use their stuns and nades to try to find those players. Awakening in a good spot. The problem is there's not a lot of opportunity to trade here for Florida if he gets caught. And that's what I mean, right? That comes in. Glide bomb now from Zero. He was able to earn that with that 7 kill. Not able to connect. And Gizmo tries getting aggressive behind it. The timing's right now hurting the London Royal Ravens. Ooh. Vivid trying to play his life. Does a beautiful job here. And now he has his teammates to help him. Dave working up the outside in a 1v2 for Nasty.
What a great job. Just getting prone, staying alive. Is Nasty maybe not aware he's got one here on his left? He's at least able to take it down, but the trade should come through right away, and it does. is that'll now be back-to-back rounds for Mutineers. But Vivid, I mean, he making the plays, playing his life. Great job there.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, like, you know, you get that first kill, and then I don't know what the call was between Zero and Gizmo, right, with the glide bomb coming in, but Gizmo gets caught there, and that's the waste of a streak. That's then a 3v3 for Florida, which is exactly what they needed to trade those numbers. So you would like to see that just buttoned up a bit. Maybe one player, I say it a lot in this game, just trying to do a little bit too much, trying to make that individual play.
Well, they come out bunny hopping. The team shot is on point. Vivid keeps it rolling. They see it a big round 6. Now trying to do the same in round 7. Let's see if anything combos with the nades here. It looks like he's going to be okay. Yeah, not far off the mark, but it'll miss. And the AR starting to heat up now for Mutineers. That's just the pre-fire there. And nearly gets a second on the tail end of it. But how this game has shifted on its head. Now Nasty 1v4. They have been picked apart, eaten alive. And what was a 4-0 lead now within a round.
He's trying not to give a kill away, but he's going to try to see what he can find. But I really like that from Florida, just switching up the pace on attack. Nice shots from Nasty. Just taking his time. But yeah, they go for that double chow, not afraid of the sniper of Zero. And sometimes that's all it takes, right? Just, I mean, we've seen it from teams like FaZe, where Cell's like, all right, I know what the sniper's going to be. I'm just going to take the shot.
Yeah. Or it's going to chow it every time. But
it's 3 in a row now.
You hear the crowd starting to get behind him a bit. It was ugly early, but this mid game, this meta game within the search and destroy, you feel it's starting to shift a bit as now it's Ravens starting to feel the heat. The confidence maybe building a bit for Mutineers.
Look at this 3
You
towards
see
the
it
B
vividly
side.
positive.
Look how aggressive they are getting. Afro, he's in a world of trouble, you would think. Where's the trade? It's got to be fast, but Afro? Okay, but that's a ton of information given to him. So now you're in the 3v3. Bomb is planted. Should be in a good setup here is London. But the nade hits, the stun, I would imagine hit. Dave's going to try to hit a second one.
The info is there. They fly behind it. It's Vivid that'll send it. He's gotten 2 in the round. Gizmo, not a shot in that gunfight. And now Zero on the edge, but there's the double chow through. They're able to take him down now 4 in a row. It all tied up. Is everything clicking for Mutineers?
I mean, Skies knew. He knew that angle top broken, right, in that retake. All right, where are you playing this from? You get Zero back all the way up. Vivid finds great timing middle of the alley to really start the retake process, right? That's the guy. That's what you want to see. Him playing with that pace, taking those chances. The chance worked out.
What, the stat that they showed briefly, like when he's plus or minus, was that all modes? Or was it just response?
No, it was one, I think it was in hardpoint.
It was just hardpoint? Okay. I couldn't remember. But search is where he's really been struggling. It was around a 0.75 or something, right?
Yep.
Well, he's 8 and 7 now. And they've got 4 in a row. There should be a one-on-one in mid. There is. Owakening able to take that, and he's got a teammate looking over him. Or at least he did for a moment. Now he's been able to tuck away into a corner, just getting information with his tactical. And he hits the nade as well. That's what just Gizmo and Nasty. Gizmo was hitting. He was pretty weak.
Right, again, you know, we saw London do it a couple of times early in this game. You get the first blood on offense, and then you just kind of slow it down. You have a minute to work with, and look at what this does to the defense. They're trying to find info. They have to go figure out what's happening on the map right now. They have no idea. Nasty's going to work towards P5. He's going to find a kill, gives them a 3-on-3. Bomb being planted at A, though. So because he finds the one player, look what this does. Zero and Gizmo assume this is probably going to be a B hit, but it is not. It's over towards A.
So we'll see if Awakening, losing him, will punish them at all. At least he's able to get the first blood before they drop it. I mean, before the push even comes towards the bomb plane, you've got, what, 15 seconds or so off of it.
Look at this route from Vivid. He pushes all the way through ruins. He's behind. He's going towards top radio. He's flanking broken. Oh, he went around the map. He took a lap.
Yeah, he goes the whole way around. Thankfully for him, Skies is able to get 2. Zero's going to be the last one up. He's going to have some ludicrous shots, and he starts 2 now. 1 versus 1. Just no time to go. No, okay. What in the hell?
I mean,
he's not going to win the round, but what kind of circus shot is that?
As cool as that was, they've now lost 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's the truth of it. Dear God. I mean, a little quick scope at close range, then to get the flick on the wall bang, and you know, with all that flinch is coming through, just to hit it. I mean, incredible shot. It does not matter at all, but an incredible shot. Now 5 in a row from Mutineers. Can they make it 6 straight and win this map too? And you're just going to be thunderstruck if you're Royal Ravens.
That is a hard counter.
Oh, God, they all stack up. There's only one remaining.
6.
He is done. 6 straight rounds for Mutineers, and they're up 2-0.
I don't know who's making that play call, but I love it. I mean, honestly, just look at the difference in the game from the start to those 6 rounds. Florida very active on the map, finding a lot more of those first bloods defensively, showing aggression towards B, 3 hitting it. You know, you just saw in that round, 4 towards A. They were not afraid of the London Royal Ravens on that map when they got going.
No, and that's what I think I found the most impressive, in the sense of sometimes when you're like an 0-4 hole, you don't play the way you want to, right? You play a little bit more hesitant, you don't play as aggressive as you want to, but that never seemed to shift. And then once things started to go their way, yeah, foot to the pedal. I mean, it was impressive stuff. And I mean, it was a great map from Zero. He goes 13-5. He was hitting some incredible shots. It's gotta be a frustrating one. But do you think there were? Oh, we're gonna take a look at this one more time. We're gonna see both the snipes. We don't often show a highlight of the losing team, but this was kind of nuts.
Oh, this is the last round. So
oh! I thought we were showing the play that came in. So he hits. I thought he had a collat for a second,
looked
so
close.
he's able to get one. Yeah, that was real close to a collat.
It looked real close.
Well, it's funny because I heard from my producer we're going to show the double side. I'm like, yeah, we don't show the losing team highlights all that often, but no, it's the final round. Yeah, that had to be like a centimeter from hitting a collat, but
might have been a hit marker on the second player.
yeah,
honestly.
no, might have got him
right
weak.
to the left thigh, maybe.
Yeah, with how fast they all drop, but that was awesome. And I don't know. Do you think, with how Zero was playing with the sniper, did you see maybe any changes from Mutineers to kind of deal with that, or just kind of kept to their recipe?
I mean, they weren't afraid of it.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was a key, especially A side when they were getting aggressive. They weren't giving him a lot more picks, though. Honestly, I think the key for me is that once Florida got going, they neutralized Afro and Gizmo, who are kind of their aggressive players. And we saw, right, with the Glide Bomb round is huge to me, because you invest that, you get all that info, you had the first blood, and then Gizmo gets caught radio side over towards B. I mean, those are those rounds where you go back and watch, and it's just it's tough, because you win that one, probably put the map away.
Well, we've got a potential upset looming. I don't think a lot had Mutineers taken this series, but they are up 2-0. Now a map away from moving on in this winner's bracket. We're getting things fired up here in Minnesota. We hope you're enjoying yourselves. We'll see. Can Mutineers close it out of the map 3? We'll be right back after this quick break. Down to 4 HP, and it's Owakening that's able to snap. Is Nasty tries to get it roll. It's actually Afro. That's now going to be 3 in a row for him. He's able to take out Vivid, and they start to rack. to Minnesota.
Brought to you by Zenny. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Hello and welcome back to Minnesota. We're going to talk about that Map 2 comeback. It's what, 4-0 Ravens, then 6 straight from Mutineers.
Yeah, I mean, great adjustments from the Florida Mutineers. They had a lot of hard counters. They were reading the map well. I mean, even in this last round, 4-8 over towards A. I mean, we know how good some of these SED players should be on the Mutineers. It just felt like they got going. I mean, when you are locked in like that as a player, as an in-game leader, you're making a call. Everyone's trusting that call. I mean, hey, magical things happen.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this weekend so magical. It's just not very clear cut. Outside of, Chance on the desk, he thinks like outside of FaZe and OpTic, who might be in like a tier of their own.
Yes.
There can be a lot of upsets all over the place.
No, there definitely could be. Yeah, I think, I assume it's going to be pretty clear cut, but you never know. I mean, we've had sort of these weekends where these runs can happen. Someone can get hot.
For who might win it, yes. But I mean, like, just individual matchup speaking, like, there could be a lot of this. And to be fair, this is one that I thought would probably be a little bit more clear-cut. That's not been the case.
Has, but you never know. We've had a lot of reverse sweeps on the year. It starts with the control.
I feel like there's been a ton. I bet if you looked at it year by year, it's probably relatively close.
Similar.
It just feels like
what was the one year? Was it Black Ops 4? I felt like it was literally like
every series.
Yes, it felt like it happened all the time.
Well, what was it? Was it the World War II year where I feel like it was everything went Game 5? Maybe it's just like the finals we did, like every single one.
Yeah, second best of 5.
Second best of 5. It was a crazy one, but I mean, this. Do you see just with the talent? Let's say, we think it's probably a pacing and comps thing, maybe a little bit for Florida, but let's say it's more a confidence thing. Like you need to get some wins. This I would think would be the type of win that could propel you on to have a great weekend.
Yeah, I think it's a team that's sort of middle of the pack. You're struggling. Any win against a top 4 team is a huge confidence.
Because we've seen their record against the top teams. It's not been great.
Yeah, the tough part is when you're kind of in that position, you're trying. Like practice is tough because you're trying out a lot of different things, right? You're trying to figure out what's going right, what's going wrong. Maybe switching up roles, doing different things. You have no idea what's going to work on the stage until you're performing. And then when it doesn't work, you're back. It's just a very long mental process. So when you get
how much do you miss that, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
First hanging out with me.
It depends who I was playing with. Yeah, honestly. So, some years I missed it a lot. Other years, not so much.
Well, you had to deal with Ant and Jay.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty good time, but that was a stressful one for sure. Yeah,
I can see that. Young Jay.
They figured it out.
Dude, some of those stories for you guys kill me, but probably not safe for broadcast. So, now into the map 3. Gabuto, Mutineers, a map away from closing this out. We'll see if Ravens have what it takes, but Vivid just snap to snap. Nice shots there with the auto, but similar to the map 1, you feel where they can have multiple autos.
All right, I mean, yeah, again,
should be a solid map for him.
He's got this third auto out, so he's going to try to play around it. But all right, with the change in control, what does London do? Let's play around these ticks. 2 already on B. Look at this pinch coming in from Gizmo. He can make a huge play here as he is in the Mutineers base. He has to hold on. The team has to hold on, allow him to make the play, but he's just a couple of seconds late, and he doesn't find a kill. He does not find a kill. They do get to take it B, so you have that, but man, you would love to just be there 1 second earlier.
It looked like he almost took shots and someone couldn't finish it, and then they reacted quick and took him out. Like maybe one of those times where, you're rushing to get to the spot and just don't find the opening you want, but if you're Mutineers, you deal with it well. Now kind of send Ravens back to step 1. And obviously, control becomes a very different game. Have you seen some teams maybe adjusting to it a little bit better than others when it comes to kind of the kills versus tick?
I think it's more just like you have to change. Everyone's going to have to change their style of play, right? Defensively, you're not going to allow those. You have to get aggressive when the teams are, on those points.
We won't see teams doing nothing for a minute.
Yeah, I think everyone's really excited about that. But even just this, right? Okay, you've seen what London's doing. They're getting control of ship, and then they go ringside. And again, they have 2 players over towards B. They're kind of just throwing these fakes over at the A zone. Then they rotate over.
Done. So you'll get the extra minute. Be
safely. 1 second later, they don't have that done.
Yeah, Skies hits a good one, but honestly, that might alleviate some of the pressure, not to worry about a pinch so much as those 2 players coming out, so you still might find some value out of the nade, but yeah, it would have been great if that would have hit a second earlier. Now can you hold here for a minute?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's a great step for London, but they still have to fight for map position. You lose 3 takes if you're Florida, not the worst thing in the world whatsoever, because that's usually what's happening over at A. They're finding some kills, but Afro and Zero, both gonna get out now. Owakening, he's all the way up towards B side. The only player here is mid-tank at Skies. Yeah, Awakening just trying to see what he can do. And look, they're looking for him. Look at what Nasty's position. He continues to turn around.
What kind of timing does Awakening find? He's starting to push again. It's like Nasty. What timing does he get? It's
not a good one.
It's not great, unfortunately. Right as he turns and gives that up, you get the one pick. But onto the point they go, and they'll stop the clock with just under 30 seconds to go. It's basically reinforcements flooding back out from either side. But Nasty after the death right back into it. 2 straight for Royal Ravens. And they've got a chance to put them away here. They're finding all the kills. Send them all back to spawn. They're stacking onto it. Second point of progress almost done. There's the second tick. Now, can they hit the nades or can they get in and get the kills? Skies has gotten 2. They might have a chance to stop this. Knock him up all 6 points.
Now 6-5. Can they get the round win now? I mean, even at Florida, you're just hoping to get this on the board now. Vivid's going to turn this into a 4v4. Gizmo put some shots into one. Dave's going to get taken down. 15 seconds. 3-3.
At number 6, that's Skies wrapping all the way around. He takes a gunfight, but he hasn't quite been able to finish Nasty. The pistol hits, so it's actually going to be his flash that finishes it. Then Vivid inside the point will hold on. But
a lot of work.
Yeah, you get 5 points of progress.
I think after that 4 dead, though, I mean...
I think you want the win there.
Yeah, 100%.
You want the round win.
I think that's still a frustrating round. They definitely expect to win that one.
It's Skies that gets 2 off of it right away,
well,
right?
Zero and Afro, we've cloned them. They've cloned.
Oh, what in the hell?
There's Zero. He's back.
Hey, buddy.
He's back. Whoa. Shapeshift.
That was kind of freaky. Got a similar haircut or something, I don't know. I wish that stuff was real, like shapeshifters.
Could be, dude. Could be. Who knows?
Awakening. He gets aggressive with, well, kind of looking over the aggressive player in Vivid. He's able to take down 2 and then get onto the point. There is one flanking all the way around. I don't even think Afro really had to make the play. His teammates get the kills, and Afro's still kind of lurking here right between both points of progress. And what a little snap and slide cancel that was. Can't quite get out of it with his life, but he was lurking in enemy territory.
Slide cancel, just headbutt right to the groin.
Yeah, now that probably hurt.
Good, yeah. Not sure if he's wearing a helmet or not.
The pistol continues to get it done for Zero, but it's 6 HP after that gunfight. Quickly will drop after. And nobody on A at the moment. I mean, you've got 30 seconds left, lives, whatever. You just really are going to need an extension at some point. You're pretty close in that regard, but Afro continues to lurk and be a nuisance.
Well, this is what London did really well on their offense. When they would get into a position, they were getting their 3 to 4 alive. And then what would happen is they would kind of put one player on it, and that forces Florida to say, hey, we have to almost like try to retake this, right? So they did a really good job on both zones playing with those numbers where as soon as Florida's gotten into this mid-map position, they're getting picked apart one by one. London's not allowing it to be clean, just like we're seeing right now.
Well, you feel really good about your 5 objective points through the first one. If you hold them to 1 or 2 through this, they've got 10 seconds to go. They've got to get it, just trying to get the shots on the backside of this tank. But the flood will come in. That's Afro once again. Zero then with 2. Last person up is going to be Vivid, and he's likely going to have to be a hero. Not able to do it. They just get the 1, right? Did they get 2?
2.
They got 2? Okay.
But even right there, you had a 4v2 in the middle of the map for Florida to work towards A. Dave's on the point. But 2 players, I think, just get gunned by Zero. So it's one of those positions where on offense for London, it was a lot cleaner in those spots.
Is it just indecision? Kind of once they get those spots for your Mutineers, like just having to make decisions a little bit faster, or what?
Well, I think just sort of winning the next gunfight is really the key.
Winning a fight, yeah, that helps sometimes in an FPS. Let's see if you can clean up the defense if you're Mutineers. Yeah, give it up B first. Obviously made it that much tougher. But Gizmo gets the spot, and he'll continue to hold. Nice patience there. As he's challenging with 8 health, he finally backs down.
Now you see that +3 take advantage. And now let's see how they do this again, because last time through it was kind of just sort of this bait towards A. It looks like they're gonna have 3 players here. Zero knows that a player could pinch all the way through beach side. He's read it once, but is he gonna read it again? What a play by Zero over towards Ring.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on one throughout the course of this series, looking to keep it going here. And they're just still worried about hunting him. He's just pulling people away towards his side. They'll finally get dropped, but look at the damage that's been on the objective at A. That's the second part of progress now for London. They still have Gizmo there. Right as I say it, though, he's going to fall. Zero really the only guy up that we just saw on spawn. So this will be a little bit of map control now for Mutineers. Now what can they do with it?
Yeah, great chance here to just trap him in. That's 3 dead. 1 player alive and nasty. Spawns are going to come in.
And you don't have a lot of time. When you're spawning in with 40 to go, and you've got the position like you see number 7, it's just not a lot of time at all to try and get towards point. This could be a wonderful round for Mutineers if they can hold on.
Yeah, just try to bounce on back. The only good thing for them is, again, that round 1 where they got the 5 ticks, and maybe that's what London is thinking. You know, this is a situation where before the update, I mean, London would probably just wait. They would just try to wait this out, but can they get out to A? Afro, he was the first man up. He's going to get cut down. The trades are there now for London. They have a chance. The angles, though, being held by Dave and Vivid inside of A, and it's looking like Florida's holding on.
Yeah, 1 chance to get on top of this, and that is not going to do it. Clock will run out, so a beautiful job. You know, I thought when you had Zero ringside, they had the pressure on A, things were starting to come apart a little bit, but once they cleared out Zero, it was a clean retake, and then at that point, I guess I feel like you spent a lot of time trying to get the setup if you're Ravens. Once it broke apart, you have 40 seconds on the clock, and all map control gone. I mean, you gotta win like 2 sets of gunfights to get to the point.
Yeah, get them on a power position. It was just nice timing. Dave was able to work up towards the beach side, right? So then off spawn, Zero gets caught on the angles. They had the position that they want. So, all right, here we go. A switch up now for the Mutineers. Maybe gonna try to hit this B zone first. We saw this a little bit round 1 for London. He's gonna be the first player up. It's going to be Afro, and he finds that first blood. And you can see the immediate shift, and he finds 2. Just no trades. Now Zero's watching over him. This is all Afro in the start.
I mean, he's been unbelievable for them on defense. I mean, even the last time through, it's been so strong. He gets 3 of the 4 players on that opening B push. Now you've got a decent amount of time off the clock, but it'll be stopped for now as they're going to rotate right over to A. And we'll see if Zero can keep on cooking. Sorry, Afro can keep on cooking as he hits the mid-gap rotation over to get them off this point.
This is where Florida really struggled. They got into their spot now, but just not clean enough. 2 kills come in. That's going to keep them off. Now it's 3 dead. And look at Zero's position. Similar to what we saw from Dave the previous round. If they can get this trap set up, it's almost exactly like what we saw from Florida.
Yeah, whether it was a Awakening or Dave or someone getting to this position.
Dave did get out, though. He was able to get out.
Well, the beams continue there from Afro, but now it's like we got 26 seconds. We got to make a choice. And they're a little bit split, but they're winning their ones on either side of the map. So now you're spawning up if you're London. You got to make a choice. Where are we going to go? And they're going to try to get right back over to B. Dude, if Awakening wins the second one there, you might have a decent shot to make a play, but of course it's Afro.
Yeah, a bit of a 2-2 split. You do have a nice setup here over towards A, though. Like, while that's happening, that forced all of London to shift on over. That opens up A. Vivid, I thought, was going to be the playmaker. He was able to push up towards front green, but he does get caught. You do have 1 tick in, but you're going to have to get a lot more if you want defense in round number 5. It's London almost flawless here. Afro with the auto mantle that comes on in. We've all been there.
So what do they need to get to? What's the separation now?
5.
It's 5 rounds? Okay. We got 5 seconds to go. They got to try to get on one of these. And the only spot they've really got a shot is at B, but Viv is able to win it. That 1.7 on the clock, is that going to be enough to maybe pull off a miracle and somehow get the defense here in around 5?
Can a second one get across? Can you get 2 bodies on this? That's the problem. Vivid, though, the nades were hitting, and who was it? Zero.
Yeah.
Zero is watching across. He hits both shots.
I mean, so outside of what the round 1, really just impressive defense is at round 1, but dictates everything. Just a great start from Royal Ravens.
And they need this round 5. They lose this. Florida with the 3-0.
In the losers, yeah. And I mean, maybe there are some that could have picked this to go to Mutineers just based on recent results. Maybe you had a feeling, but I don't think it would have been a 3-0 fashion. No shot.
Yeah, the Mutineers players, coaching staff, and
their parents, yeah.
Yeah, family.
might have picked it that way. It all comes down to this round 5.
Right, they're going to try B again. Now, Afro's not set up here, right? So he was in towards ring last round. He's not there. Zero is all the way in the back. He does get picked. Watching the crosshair from this middle alley is going to be Nasty and Afro.
I was just wondering what you were going to do if you were number 7. If you were just going to hop on A or try and reinforce this B push. Right now, they're just kind of locking him in. They've been satisfied just fine the kills.
Right now.
Yeah. They go up 3 kills, and that's fine for now. But the clock is quickly kind of dwindling. You got 50 seconds or so to go.
I'm actually surprised nobody's been on A this entire time.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I think it was number 7. It was TJHaly. I thought he was just going to hop on it, kind of stop the clock. But it looks like they were kind of between maybe making a full push towards B, locking him in.
Yeah, if he can get a kill or 2 middle of the map, maybe they can stack towards B. But off a spawn, the nades hit. London trying to regain. Still down a couple of lives. Working it slowly over towards A.
Bit of finesse. It's somehow able to win and just run away. They can't quite get out of there, but now back to the point we go. Gizmo and Afro both able to find openers, but rotating over to the point now will be Skies. You stop the clock once again. You've got 2 bits of progression. And now look at Vivid just over here, like quite literally on an island. As he's stretched out deep, he will get dropped, but takes 1 down with him. They're about to finish A. They'll have just under 2 minutes to work with. You've got a 5 life advantage, Joe. This is doable.
Yeah, I think you would just love to have a ticket B. I mean, with a couple of chances that they've had, I think that could be the difference.
You got
we'll
a
see if
chance
they
here.
get pushed out.
Chance.
Gizmo,
No.
Gizmo's still alive. Now the reinforcements are in. Look at number 6. Skies is behind enemy lines. Skies. Can they time this right? Skies finds one, Awakening with another. Now Skies all the way in the back. Middle of the alley, he's gonna be Nasty. He's cut down. They still have Gizmo though, holding B by himself, trying to do what he can, buy enough time. They do have to be careful though. Lives, there's only 12 left. Only 12. Now
They're
11.
They're getting picked apart. This might be a 3-0. You've got 1:23 to work with. You're into the point, 8 life advantage. TJHaly, how magnificent he has been within this round 5. He's got 5 in a row. The help is there from Big Wake. They get cleared out for a moment. You have 8 lives if you are Royal Ravens.
Like, this is doable, but they have no map control. They have no map control whatsoever. Awakening is hitting.
Do they need it? Because they're beaming right now. 5 lives.
2 players are on it. It's almost done. It's almost done.
It's going. They got to get
have a
3-0. It's looking that way. It is tied. 3-0 Florida. Well, majors are always fun due to the surprises, the upsets, the incredible moments. You got a little bit of everything in that first series, from the 0 snipes and incredible displays of skill to a 3-0 upset that who knows how it propels this Mutineers team. What a win it was.
Well, and I think it was our first match, the last major, right? It was London. Was it Guerrillas London? Where I think they were down 2-0 and had to reverse sweep once again. Slow starts. I mean, they were able to win that one. But we've had a couple of slow starts now from London teams at these majors.
At Tuger, I expect you to be firing right back on Twitter. I'll be looking for it as you were arguing whether they were D tier or not. The Mutineers get the 3-0. I look forward to seeing that. You're the best. I love you.
And now look at this. I mean, this is 2 maps they really struggled with respawn-wise. I mean, TJHaly 30-19. Vivid with 61 engagements. Not a surprise at all from this man.
No, it is not.
I mean, he has 4,000 damage, but again, you get a sling.
He's +1. That's the important thing.
That's really it. Yeah, he's positive. But you get just a little bit of something from everyone.
It just, yeah, and it feels like, you know, they got, as much as this looked bad on paper with regards to recent results for them. Yeah, you get a couple of Gabutus, and you can be rocking however many ARs you want to. You'd think it would be relatively strong for them. And they can shoot straight, man. As long as they can get to their spots and the comms are on point, it feels like they should be able to hang with just about anybody in those.
Yeah, and I really like the way they played that round 5. I mean, at times it was like maybe a player should be on, you know, that A zone, but they took their time. They kept playing around the lives. When they had to get on it, they stopped that clock. And the big thing was this cross over towards B. It just felt like they could never get through that middle alley. Finally, they do. They worked that pinch with Skies and Awakening, opened everything up for them.
And now, I mean, maybe looking back, that little bit of TDM they kind of played at one point to just sort of get, what, around a 5 life advantage. It's like at that point, it doesn't seem like a lot. But once you get a minute deeper into the game and you really see that start to kind of compound, it was unbelievable. What a win it is. I mean, you go deep in the search and destroy to a round 5 in the control.
Well, think about that round 1, right? I mean, just like, as big as it is to hang on to A when you lose B that early.
That one tick.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's everything. Just kind of close it out here. And I think when you're a team that has been struggling, you're looking to get wins, it's really important. Just close it out in 3. Like, as much as you want to get reps and everything, I get that, but like, close it out, get rid of those demons, get a win on the board, and see where that can propel you through the rest of the weekend. But what a win it was. I don't think many saw it coming. It is a Florida Mutineers 3-0. We'll get it over to the desk to break it down.
Are y'all ready for pandemonium right now? Because that 3-0 right there, champs, who would have guessed it? And then the craziest part about it was the simple fact that when Florida won, they had a huge audience cheering for them. Like, that was absolutely insane. Kick off the event, we get a 3-0. London Royal Ravens sent to the losers bracket.
And I got to eat my words as well, just outright, because I had very low expectations for Florida. Like, I saw the Gavutu hardpoint come through, and I was like, they've gotten smoked every single time they played that map, but they just come out and dominate. They go against London on one of their best maps for the Gavutu control. Yeah. They dominate them as that as well. And look at the turnaround they have had on P3 on Gavutu. I mean, they go from losing, what, 43 seconds on average. That is miserable. Today, damn near perfect. And that 59-0, 4th perfect hill we have seen this season. Florida clearly have put some time in. And honestly, I mean, maybe just have a couple like secrets up their sleeve, because that was incredible right from the jump.
And when it comes to Gavutu, I mean, we was expecting London to run away with it.
Yeah, I mean, London's one of the best Gavutu teams in the world. I think across both those maps are like 14-6 combined. Yeah. And to go into the series versus Florida Mutineers, like, you got to win those maps. But for Florida, even on that P3, they go into P4 and break it as well. So Dave Patty, Awakening, Skies, Vivid, every single player in this team stepped up. Dave Patty in that last control was unbelievable. Gets pushed up towards that B, plays the corner near the rock, picks up 2 big kills so they can get control of that. And then also in green, that miraculous kill that he picks up at the very end. Like, this is a team that turned it around, and the field seems to be leveling because they're playing maps that they haven't played since early in the season. They could potentially make a run here. Like, next round, they play Breach or Guerrillas. Those are 2 teams that are also in the middle of the pack. And if they win that, they end up in winners bracket final. Like, the pickups are destroyed. Like, they could potentially get top 3.
Yes, now let's go ahead and jump into the Scump play of the game, where we saw some good snipes and Zero was popping off and going crazy. But take a look at what Dave Patty did. That was absolutely insane.
I mean, obviously the shot is cool, but this is like the second round. They had one on offense as well, where they just dominated out towards A. Send 3-4 guys like on the fly. And again, like the maps 1 and 3 were dominant. The strats they had like that in the S&D, they were just looking to dominate the opposition, and they delivered in a 3-0 fashion.
Right, and it's about that time to send this over to Miles for the Game Field post-victory spotlight with the one and only Caesar Skies. Let's go ahead and hear it.
Thank you very much, Tim. Skies. Everyone had doubted you. D-tier ranked team coming into this in the power rankings. The casters, the desk, you name it, the fans. You came out and you absolutely smoked the Ravens 3-0. How the hell are you doing?
Honestly, feeling fantastic, bro. That feels really good because people are comparing them to like on the verge of an S-tier team.
I'll take that one.
But I know our team has a potential, because in scrims, like, we're always like playing really good. Because this may sound faded, but like, I swear we're a top 4 team if it's scrims. Like, we just have to translate it into like our matches. I feel like we did that today. We played with confidence and we played loose.
It was a surprise to, I think, a lot of people, again, like how strong you looked. Without a shadow of a doubt, you know, we're talking about the Ravens being like the gateway to S tier. Yeah. Now that you guys are on the path here on LAN, like here at Major 2, what's next?
Honestly, we got some crazy confidence now. I'm really confident in whoever we play tomorrow, but it's completely different from Boca Raton. Dude, online, Jesus Christ, it feels way better here.
I think the fans enjoyed the show as well. I appreciate it. You had a huge amount of support, dude. Well done. Congrats on the 3-0. We'll see you throughout the tournament. Dex, back to you.
That crowd interaction is beautiful. And aLLeY, I mean, that Search and Destroy really solidified that series for me right there. Zero was unstoppable. Looks like London was going to run away with it, but Florida just wasn't having it.
Listen, man, I'm going to keep it a buck. I walked out of the green room at London up 4-0, and I walked into the venue, and I turned around, I'm like, 4-4? Wait, this is tied? It literally maybe took me 60 seconds. I mean, I'm going to keep it real with you. Florida is either on or they are off. And now the question is if they can consistently stay on.
Right, Nameless. So this is it, man. The start of the event, 3-0 upset. Do you think the rest of the day is going to be even wilder?
It could get insane. I mean, some of these guys, like, online performances have not translated well to LAN. I look at this London Royal Ravens team, and like, it wasn't Gizmo's fault entirely here, but he is so much better during the qualifying stage. I need to see him translate that to LAN if London's going to turn it around.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for the first series of the day, but it's about that time to go to a break. But when we come back, we have some more exciting Call of Duty action. Well, you just saw that main stage. There's going to be a lot more to come. Florida Mutineers with a big 3-0 upset against the London Royal Ravens. There's a lot more on the other side of this. We'll see you soon.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Welcome to Call of Duty League Resurgence, Rebirth Island. You versus the 12 CDL orgs. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. Sign up through April 7th to stand up and be counted. Those who dare win.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and you heard it right from Miles right there in that preview. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And we saw that last series with Florida, causing a huge upset, a 3-0 win over the London Royal Ravens. And here on the desk, we brought over one of the casters. We got my man's Røkkr, we got aLLeY, we got Nameless, Merc. Yo, let's be completely honest.
Okay.
When you and Maven were up there commentating that game, and they won 3-0, were you guys like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah, I think everybody was, right? I mean, obviously you have to give them their props for the Florida Mutineers. You know, it felt like they really prepared for that map set, especially in, you know, Gavutu, where they've really struggled in control and hardpoint. So winning, that is huge. On the London side, kind of said at the end, they did have a slow start at the first major. So I think they have to find that energy, but you start in the winners, you still are alive. Just got to get things going.
The best runs are made in the losers bracket. But let's go ahead and talk about the second matchup of the day. We got the Boston Breach, and we also have the Los Angeles Guerrillas. And when it comes to Boston, Joe, they have been so phenomenal stage 2. I mean, including Methodz.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we saw the stats earlier, like #1 in everything throughout the, you know, major 2 qualifiers. I think for Boston, it's almost a similar story to Florida, where, I mean, they middle of the pack. Can they beat the best teams? But before that, they have to be the Guerrillas with a sub. But Boston, it feels like they're getting better and better. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
So on paper, it should be a definitive win. But when it comes to the game field keys of victory, aLLeY, what you got for us?
Learn from the series loss versus London. Again, that was a really tough loss, 3-1. Breach lost both hard points after being on an 8 hardpoint win streak. So they're looking to push that further and continue P1 excellence on Gavutu, outscoring Team 3 8-9 on P1. And Gavutu is going to be the first map that we head into, and one of the best tick-based control teams. I said that when this move to objective, Boston Breach, one of the teams that was going to start succeeding. Well, they're second in average 6 this season and won 3 of the last 4 controls. So you could basically write that off from the series.
So we're seeing a lot of progress from this team right now, rightfully so, right? This team has been so phenomenal this year. But the squad they're going up against, Spart is actually going to be a filler subbing in for Gunless. And when it comes to this roster, we expected so much from them heading into this event, Joe.
Yeah, we did. I mean, yeah, it just felt like they were finally starting to click a little bit. I think Asim and Hook are really their big playmakers. When Asim is playing well, just feels like they're clutching on up. You still have Slasher, who I think wants some redemption from Major 1. Wasn't the best event for him. But it's tough, right? With the fill-in, the one thing is now there's like no pressure on you, right? I mean, you just come out, have some fun. There's still a lot of playmakers. There's a lot of talent on the team. Maybe with Spart a couple of days of practice, they can get something going.
And when it comes to the keys to victory, Nameless, what do LAG have to do to overcome this issue that they have?
Yeah, you need some improvement from Spart with a full week of practice. You had a 0.55 KD versus OpTic. I say that once again, OpTic with only a warm-up scrim. So going into this one, Boston Breach, obviously a way easier opponent. I'm expecting him to step it up and then play together in man advantage situations on Tuscan S&D. That is going to be game 5 in this series. They're 0-3 on Tuscan Search, last in first blood conversion at 62%. Now 0-3 isn't a lot of times to have played that map, so I'm expecting them to come back stronger, having went over it, watch VOD at this point in the game, and then also counter Boston's fast B pushes on Berlin's Search and Destroy. 41% of Breach's attacks are quick B hits. It's a 78% win rate. You go back, you watch that, you can prepare for something like that. If 78% of the time they're going there, you gotta get ready for it.
Let's talk about it for a second. LAG, when it came to stage 1, they weren't having the results that they really wanted, right? But when it came to stage 2, aLLeY, they were looking so good. We saw Asim and Hook become more consistent. Slasher started popping off towards the end.
Slasher looked like normal Slasher. I felt like we'd been flashed back in time. And now, unfortunately, coming on land for Major 2, they are going to have to play with the sub and Spart. But they've had some time to practice now, right? I am a little worried about loading into Gavutu. We saw that against OpTic, and Spart clearly struggled. He had a 0.76 in the hardpoint versus OpTic. But again, he didn't have any practice. He was kind of just thrown in. And you know what? On the player cams, it looks like the vibes are all around.
The crowd is loving him right now. But when it comes to pick'ems, all right, this one is going to be a tough one because LAG do not have their full roster, and I was really looking forward to seeing the full squad this event. But I'm going to have to rock with Boston Breach, man. I mean, you guys see the shit already, right? You know, Zinni for the Winnie, baby. This team is just showing that they're getting better and better. And with London losing, I think that we might get a new top 3 team this event. Hot take, I don't know. Yo, Merc, who you got winning this series?
I mean, you just have to go Boston. I just think with LAG having a fill-in, I mean, just the way that they were playing, obviously you have that loss versus London Atlanta Royal Ravens, but before that, they were just on a roll. Again, everybody's starting, it just felt like they were getting comfortable. Like, this is a team what you expect when you have some younger pieces.
Yeah.
Every single game, every stage, they're going to improve. We're seeing that right here.
Right. aLLeY, do you think LAG have a chance at all with Spark?
Unfortunately, without the sub, maybe, but with the sub in, I feel like Boston Breach just have the way bigger map pool when it comes to this. And when it came to the vetoes and seeing the layout, it seems LAG hard lost when it comes to it. So I'm going to go with Boston Breach.
I think it's going to be really difficult for them.
Yeah.
But Nameless as the last one right now. You rock with Boston as well, my guy.
You know, I'm still unconvinced of Boston on LAN. What I saw at the first event, they didn't play any really huge, impressive opponent, but they played so good throughout Stage 2 qualifiers, I'd be crazy to not predict them in this series. I do think that it will be competitive, though, and potentially Game 5, but I'm going with Boston Breach.
Well, when it comes to one of the players to watch, right? Okay, Capsidal came into the year just, going crazy as a rookie, and a lot of people, us included, we were skeptical on him, but he's starting to show that he's that guy, even though he had a pretty slow play day last time he was on screen.
Yeah, Capsidal's insane in this game, man.
Yeah.
Like, the guy literally runs an SMG at all times. He's up in your face. I just think sometimes he red dot chases a little bit too much, but that's something that you have to learn. Like, since Major 1, he got so much better throughout these qualifiers, and when he starts to get rolling, that's why Methodz has been allowed to pop off as well. So it's really been a collaborative team effort. Everybody's playing great. And honestly, though, if we were going to isolate one player and talk about the improvement in their performance being the dynamic change in this team, it has been Nero for me. His playmaking ability on the map has been the most influential difference on this team. I know Methodz has been killing it, and he has been superstar in that many-hour position, but it's not as influential of a position as Nero plays. So I'm really going to be looking out for him once again to maintain that consistency in those types of plays, stay composed, and be disciplined, especially in the hard points, because I think that was the major contributor to their 9-win streak in hard point.
I like that. Nero was actually a land mode back in Major 1. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to lock it in for the second series of the day. Let's see if another upset is going to happen. It's going to be the Boston Breach and the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
And he'll have some words for Crimsix. Forcing the issue of like he's inside of the paint, and that's going to be 5 in a row. How about this?
There's 2, there's 3.
Hello, Minnesota, how we doing? Yeah! Listen, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a sensational weekend. We've already got upsets. We've had one match. It's a 3-0. None of us saw coming. It's going to be a glorious and beautiful weekend. And now we continue on. It is time for our next match. We are going to meet our teams. We've got Boston Breach going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. First up, let's meet Boston Breach. Capsidal, Methodz, TJ, and Nero.
8-6 in the CDL. The crowd is loving him. Look how big that boy Cap is right there. I can't wait to see him on that main stage.
Listen, they've been tearing it up throughout the Stage 2 qualifiers. These guys have come in with a fantastic seed, and I'm looking at them to crack into that top 3, and they have a great route to do it. All they have to do is win this match versus LAG with the sub, and then beat the Mutineers, who they have an advantage over, but it starts right here.
And this next team might be a tricky one, Maven. I think they're going to live up to their name, man.
Yeah, this, for Guerrillas, I mean, you're in a tough spot, right? Gunless not here, Spartan filling in, everything against you going up against this Boston Breach team, but do they have what it takes? Let's meet them. Let's take a look at Los Angeles Guerrillas.
I love the crowd.
Slasher, Asim, Spark, and Hoop.
And when all eyes on Spark is a sub for this team, I'm personally feeling like this is Slasher's job to really step it up.
Absolutely. As a veteran on this squad, he's going to have to be that leading voice, having that missing piece in Pierce. But you know what? Spark's looking comfortable on that main stage, and now you have added a lot of sub-aggression to the squad, so we'll see what they're able to do.
Hey, yo, Maven, let's get this ball rolling, man.
You guys ready? Yeah! Here we go. Let's get it going. It's time for Boston Breeze, Los Angeles Guerrillas, to our commentators, Brycey and Ton.
All right, thank you very much. We are here, we are live at the Major, and we are looking forward to this game. Of course, Boston Breach been in the ascendancy recently. We are looking forward to see how far they can go. And LAG, it's all about their sub and seeing just how good they actually are.
Yeah, it's really going to be a litmus test straight out the gate for LAG. We know how good Breach have been, but I think the big story around this game is looking at who they're going to be playing next. Going up against Florida Mutineers for a spot in the winners bracket final. This game is huge in the grand scheme of things for both of these two teams. They'd be looking at that next game, not looking past their current opponent, but at the same time, you'd be thinking about that next game thinking, right, we got a good chance of top 3 here.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, both these teams just looking to make a name here at the Minnesota Major. And I'll tell you something, right? For me, Boston last time around, I thought top 6 was a good placement. This time, they can go significantly further.
They really can. They have been impressive, and we were questioning, because we were casting their game against London, whether or not they could break that top 3 mold that we thought that we had. However, that has maybe changed after the last game that we just seen on stage. However, they could not beat London, so where is their limit? Going up against LAG, though, I think they were talking about it on the desk. We would very much be looking at this game beforehand with Gunless in there and thinking this should be a very, very decent, very close game. But with Spark coming in, it's a little bit more difficult for the LAG.
Many things to talk about with LAG as well, by the way. I'm convinced this team was on the way up as well. They look very, very good. Coming obviously with Spark as a sub. I'm actually a big fan of Spark, but it's difficult to kind of benchmark him when the first team he plays against is OpTic. This, though, is an actual much better test. We get to see whether or not LAG have the fortitude to adapt, improvise, and overcome.
Absolutely. Let's see how he does in the first game. We're going to be kicking it off with Gav. Very excited to get into this one. And again, I mean, for Boston, I like this map as well. I'm very interested to see how he is going to break down. I agree with Ali, though, as far as it goes with the picks and bans, very much a Boston win on that front. LAG are going to have to bring everything here. Maybe a bit of a different setup with Smart in there. Of course, no Gunless, and we wish you well. PS getting better. But into this game, very excited for what should be an absolute banger.
All right, well, let's head into the ring first of all and get a bit mixy as both teams look to trade out and try to get this first amount of time on the hill.
Yeah, let's see what Hook can do. Just looking to get some P1 control. Of course, we're going to be concentrating on in and around ring, but looking over towards P2 is what primarily teams are going to be doing here, but you need to try and clear out over towards P1. The best to start to Spartan as he does now fall. Trading back and forth, though, it is going to be LAG who get control, looking towards both, though. Boston Breach ready to play.
Well, the man of the moment, Methodz, 3-0 straight off the rip here, and a player who has just been exceeding all expectations so far around, as Boston will eventually start taking ring control away as Nero shuts it down as we head over towards boat.
These rotational kills are going to start coming in shortly. Methodz doing his best just to stay alive. Is he going to be ready and waiting? One player there for the LAG sitting up top 3, and he's waiting for him. Is the team going to be able to find this shot? Good shots from Methodz. The rest of his team, are they there to help? Seems as if LAG have broken through, and there he is. Slasher breaks in. LAG get control.
Big shutdown from Slasher there in the end, and it will be them trying to get some points back on the board here. Let's see whether or not Boston can actually breach this hill. They're trying to get bodies in the right positions, but losing gunfights left, right, and center.
Hook very advanced up. Pushed up towards green. Try and find as many kills as he can. Staying alive is even better. Can he find these shots into Nero? Nicely played from Hook. Second shots, TJ, a little bit windy. But nonetheless, the first shots are there. Can they continue to clean up here for LAG? Very good hold here over towards P2. Still 30 seconds remaining. And it's interesting to see how LAG work with this new pickup that does come on through, because of Gunless. The ARs right now are crispy, and LAG find themselves in the lead.
Well, for LAG, while they will have this scrap time, they're going to be looking to try and get this rotation locked down already. You can see top ring, that's going to be Capsidal up there, just causing an issue. And for LAG, a little bit of slow pace here, trying to find out where this weakness is, get the kills, and then move forward.
Next couple of kills are really big. His Methodz turn around at the right time he has, but he is going to expect spot there as well. Not quite. Look at that actually from Capsidal coming round on the outside once again. Green control spawns there for Breach. Super important kill for Cap, taking down Spot. Now if you're Boston Breach, you just have to watch the front. You just have to watch P1, but no longer. TJ finds 2 over here, but who can make the play? Look at the spawns.
Well, Here we go. They're going to try and make something out of this one as well. The Capsidal at the back. Not able to get that second player. Eventually will do. And that's a big shutdown from Boston Breach. They're not letting them anywhere near this. However, outnumbered but outgunned. It's only Nero left alive in it, but Methodz to the rescue. He's up top ring and he's trying to shoot everybody going for his teammate. And he's not going to make it as LAG eventually break through. And that'll be enough for Boston Breach. They're going to rotate.
Yeah, that's fine for Boston, to be honest with you. You pick up the majority of the time, and you get rotations over towards P4. Capsidal in ring, though. Is he going to see Slasher down low? Just a Røkkr protecting Austin at the moment. But the push is going to have to come in. You have to get through Capsidal before you get any beach control. But Slasher is going to be the guy. Can he find a route through here? Because Boston Breach, the trenches are done.
Well, Slasher will get one, but Capsidal quickly get that trade back as well. Asim is up here and Capsidal is just playing frustrating. He's not giving them an opportunity to shut it down, and they say that, and Asim gets him. Asim, though, going to keep pushing forward. It's eventually taken down here as well. And now, if you are Boston Breach, you've got to be careful not to be pushed back into that spawn, and TJ says no.
Really big kills as the rest of the team were coming in off respawn. Now pushing it forward, trying to force it out. They kind of try and want to flip this now. You want LEG spawning over towards the back rocks if you can find these kills and force your way out. Still Boston spawning there, and more kills coming in for Boston. TJ's doing an important job now. If he can continue to extend and continue to find kills, we may see LEG start to spawn towards the back if they're not careful. Spot with an important kill, though. These rotations over towards P4 are in for LEG, but that is a lot of time for Boston Breach.
It certainly is. We're going to find out, though, how do Boston break this next hill on the rotation. Let's go for a Boston Breach. Listen in.
Where's he at? I don't down. The ring tank.
Yeah, there's two ring. Ring tank. Nice. One's the ring tank, Kyler.
Top, he's like, there's two
the sets.
right here.
Yep.
Do the sets.
Do the sets. Ace, Sim, and Kyler are both doing sets.
I got this. I'll see him on top, guys. Back out. Top.
I spawned first cut.
20 back. I'm pushing up, guys.
Okay. Back, Kyler down. Second cut, first cut. He's ring tank, the ring tank.
I'll close that. I don't see ring tank. Yeah, he went there.
I'm rotating.
No, I have time. No, I don't love cut.
Oh, that's huge.
He just crossed it. They both do them. Yeah, you guys can leave me hold if you want me to.
One's dude, okay.
One more, no? These are set already.
Yeah, he is. He's on low beach. Low beach dead.
Nice, good. Okay, I don't have any. One's already low. I think he's already low.
I got low.
I think I set him low.
I got low.
They let me hold, guys. They let me hold.
And the points that was going to come in off the back of that listening was LAG, that rotation for the Boston Breach as well. It didn't look like they were going to find the break. They did. They get a lot of time. And then they initially win this rotation over towards P1. LAG will bring it back. For the most part in that first rotation of hills, though, the teams that were there first were holding it down. We know that's typical, but neither one of these teams breaking well up until we got to that fifth hill.
Yeah, and that might be the difference here, but as you can see, the LA Guerrillas currently have top ring control. TJ getting straight in with a pistol, looking for two! It's not quite the best weapon. Almost makes it work, though, but LAG hold on. And it looks like they might get one last push coming through as well. It's going to be Nero opening up proceedings. He will be taken down by Slasher. Just one left as Capsidal locks it. But it will be LAG who've already made a home of boat.
Boston Breach breaking a lot better in these last couple of hills. LAG need to find themselves a good hold here. Up 30 behind them. Well, those 3 kills on the board may well help it. Spawn's coming in here for Breach as well. It's not too bad for them if you're thinking about P3, but we've got a long way to go till then. But both these two teams locking these hills in so well. LAG, let's see what we can do here over towards both.
Well, you can already see Slasher trying to make a little bit of move for his team here, trying to get any reinforcements away from his teammates. Doing a fantastic job of it as well. LAG will lock this down. They keep feeling like we're seeing the same story over and over again. LAG get the rotation, but Boston Breach find a way to get that lead back. Can they do it one more time?
The ARs and LAG really performing quite well. 20 and 11 from Slasher. We were speaking about it at breakfast this morning. LAG, what we need to see is more consistency from the ARs. Smart, not a bad thing to kick things off with just a relatively neutral game. But look at this already. This is about a 13, make it 14 spree for LAG combined. It's eventually going to be broken by TJ. But that is a very nice hold. They're well and truly back into this game and may well just take the lead in the second.
Well, here comes the big rotation as LAG take the lead for the first time. And you can already see Boston Breach are here, and they're probably a little bit worried about how much they're being outslayed. Spartan and Asim doing the work again. A big fight up top ring as well. And if both players going to go down, the stun eventually gets the trade in for them. but neither team in a good position to actually hold this beach rotation.
It's all about P1 control. Which way is it going to go? Spark the 5 spree, and I'd like to see him take his time with that one, as Boston Breach will find the kills over towards P1. And mid-map, 4 dead, and all of a sudden LEG have got quite a task on their hands to get back into this hill. This could be good time for the Boston Breach. Spark will open things up. Push all the way from the back for LEG. P1 control is so crucial. Look at Slasher.
Here comes Slash. He's going to try and open this up for his teammates as well. Straight down. Capsidal will get taken out, but the opening is gone here. LA Guerrillas are pushing forward. TJ to the rescue once again, and it doesn't matter as Boston Breach hold it. The rotation will now come in. Boston Breach are in the lead, and LAG have now got to find a way to punch through mid-map.
Breach in the prime position to win this game now. LAG, it's all about these rotational kills if you can possibly find them. Shot's going to come in from a Seam and Hook. It's going to be a trade so far. Methodz is going to be the last one there, though, for the Breach locking it in. Look at those green arrows in the bottom left corner, all spawning up exactly where you want to see them if you're from Boston. 3, 1, and 4 sprees going on for the Breach right now. They lock in P4 control. They are 30 points away from locking in map number 1.
Well, LAG, that's a big Kim from a Seam. They're going to try and get through as well, though. Methodz is holding fast. He knows he's got to keep these reinforcements from overwhelming his teammates at any point. LAG is stacked. They have bodies in the area. Hugo opens up proceedings. Capsidal firing on all cylinders. Shuts it down for them as well. Seam, the last man alive from LAG, trying to keep this door open, trying to allow his team to get through into this one, but it's still at the moment Boston Breach. All firing on all cylinders. One last chance. Hugo's in, but it's no good. Methodz with the 3-piece, and that is a shutdown for Boston Breach.
Really, really good map number 1 out of Breach. The rotations were on point for both of these two teams, but the breaks come from Breach when they are needed. LAG looked like they were coming back in that second rotation over towards P2, but since then it's Boston, Boston, Boston. That flip over to 4 from 3 was phenomenal, and they will lock in map number 1. Their hard point at this moment in time has been brilliant. LAG can't keep up those breaks.
Yeah, kind of incredible actually. LAG, you felt like they had it in the cusp of their hands. Boston Breach were not in a good position. And you are right, it's all about that flip. Realistically, that is when the game changed.
It has to be said, we've talked about Seam being one of the more consistent performers. Let's not delve too much into 16 and 27, but he's one of those players that when you think about breaks for teams, you think about LAG, you think about a Seam and Hook doing the business. A Seam can't quite find those up close and personal kills to help his team out to get those breaks. On the other side, Cap had a phenomenal game, especially towards the end. It was pretty even until we got that second rotation, really, wasn't it? But yeah, those breaks coming in for the Breach do really